Ow! Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Rosie. I run a blog called rosieandI.com. I've got an Instagram, which is here, where I talk about sustainability, starting a sustainability journey, slow fashion, ethical beauty, all of that kind of stuff. My Instagram's fairly new in that respect, and so is my blog. Just so we're clear from the offset, I'm filming in front of my window. The light keeps changing and it's already annoying me, but we are just gonna have to live with that. My aim for this channel, for my blog, for my Instagram, is to not critique the way people do things, individuals, brands maybe, but not individual people. It's to encourage you. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I want to suggest options, ideas, that kind of thing. I'm not here to tell you this is what you should do. That's not me. So this video is basically some things that I did without even being fully aware that I was doing them to get to the point I'm at now, and I wanted to share that with you if you'd like to start living a more sustainable lifestyle. So yeah, that's the point of this video. I never intend to be preachy. If I ever come across that way, please slap me, because I do not want that. I don't want to be that person. If you like this video, please consider clicking that little bell button so that you're notified when I post new videos, which is every Friday. It would also mean the world to me if you followed my Instagram account, but you can do that after the video because you should watch it. I'm still getting used to the lockdown fringe as well, so if there's gaps in it or it looks a bit messy, please bear with me because I'm not quite there yet. So before I ramble on anymore, let's get on to the actual video. Whew. That's just for me. So today I thought we'd start kind of simple, but along the lines of what this channel is going to be about. So I'm going to share 6 steps to starting your sustainability journey. That's really hard to say. 6 steps to starting your sustainability journey. God, why did I do that to myself? So within this video, I'm just basically going to highlight some of the starting blocks that I suggest you think about if you're new to the sustainability scene. Obviously these won't be for everybody, but they're things that in hindsight I did without really realising that I was doing, and some of them were really useful and helpful to me, so I thought I'd share with you. So my tip or step number 1 is to take small steps. By this I mean what's something you're already passionate about: sustainable fashion, animal welfare, reducing plastic pollution. You can take one of these things and work on being more sustainable in that aspect. I advise this because starting off on a sustainability journey or whatever can be really overwhelming. I was really overwhelmed when I first started. I sometimes still am. But if you start with one thing, it tends to naturally snowball and work its way into other aspects of your life. Ways that you can behave more sustainably are contacting MPs and representatives, joining local groups, researching and reading, like expanding your knowledge. Doing these things in relation to something that you already care about seep their way into other things. And before you know it, you start doing all kinds of things more sustainably. That's pretty easy to understand. Just pick something that you already really love, work on that, and then before your very eyes other things will happen. So now you've got that, we're just going to jump straight into step number 2, which is don't be disheartened. There are so many people who are doing more or doing better than you online. It's really easy to feel daunted when there are so many people living seemingly perfectly sustainable lives, but the majority of what we see is all what they've chosen for us to see. We live in a consumer-centric society, and because of this it is almost impossible to be 100% purely sustainable. The most important thing you can do is do your best and do what you can. We all live different lives, and no one's sustainability looks the same as somebody else's. Don't compare yourself to other people. Work on your own individual and unique scenario, experience, lifestyle. I hope that makes sense, but what I'm trying to say really is just don't let what other people are doing get you down and discourage you. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. I hope that makes sense. So step number 3, have an open mind. One of the most effective things for me, while I've been trying to do better basically and work out what I can do, what I should be doing, blah, 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 all of that, is reading and learning and seeking out information. It's all out there, you just have to look for it, and you can consume it in so many different ways. There's tons of books on like secondhand sites like A-Books. You can listen to podcasts, radio shows, YouTube videos, documentaries, news articles, blogs. Consuming all of this information, I think, has been like integral to my personal growth and understanding. And other than the books, it's all free. Like, it's all out there for you to consume. Like, it's ready to go, so you just need to go and find it. I'd say at the moment I probably learn something new every day, and that's just from social media. Obviously on social media do your own research from the things you see, but at least that's like a starting block for you to work from. I think it's just important to keep growing and keep absorbing. Don't stop and think, yep, I'm done, this is enough, thank you. That you've got to keep on piling up the info, you know? And I think one of the reasons this is so important is so that you have the capacity and the voice to explain and inform others. So the more you learn, the more you have to say, if that makes sense. So step number 4, engaging in different types of sustainability. So sustainability is a broad term, and it doesn't just mean environmental sustainability. It touches on lots of different things, and it means something that can be maintained for a long time or indefinitely. If you're going to be environmentally sustainable, you need to make sure you're being financially sustainable and mentally sustainable. Protect your mental health. If a vision of environmental sustainability isn't financially sustainable for you, don't do it. Find another path. There are other paths. You don't have to have all the matching jars, and that's less sustainable because you're buying new things. So just do what works for you, and just make sure you're looking after yourself. And I think that's quite a big one because it's so different for everybody. People's financial situations are all different, people's mental health situations are all different, and people's environmental sustainability is all different. So I can't just say this is what you should do because it's different for everyone. But yeah, anyway, with that being said, I'm going to move on to the next step, which is maybe where you can find some support for those things, which is community. The environmental sustainability community on social media, going into it as like a newbie is quite scary. There are some people that I'm still scared of because everybody seems perfect. The reason why I've grown to love it and love the people on there are because the majority of them are very realistic, very honest and transparent about their version of sustainability. That's who I follow. I'm sure there are people who aren't, but that's what I've seen. And it's so nice because it's such a supportive community. Everybody in it, I think, should, and the majority of them do, want as many people to be a part of it as possible, because that's the point. We need as many people to be a part of it if it's going to make a difference. So the majority of people are genuinely overjoyed when a new person is like, I want to be part of this too. I'm going to link some of my favourite sustainability social media accounts down below that I recommend you check out if you're new to sustainability, or if you just fancy following some new people. Okay, so I think my last step number 6, is the most important, because without it, everything else that I've just said completely redundant, and that is action. Disclaimer, this is more difficult than usual in our current situation, but there are still ways to do it, and I'm still going to talk about it because it's really important. Social media activism has a place, but you can't stop there. There needs to be something outside of that, and it needs to be applied to life and the actual environment and the actual climate crisis and how you actually live day to day. Otherwise, what's the point of doing all that other stuff? So the things that you can do to put your sustainability mindset into action, your sustainability mindset, but also everything you've learned about why you need to be more sustainable into action, are the following. We'll list them here. So some of these aren't possible at the moment, but they will be in the future, so I'm going to say them. Join local environmental groups. Just get involved in whatever you can. Volunteer, go to events and talks, go to marches, protest. You have the right to protest, use it. Those are all things that can't actually happen right now, but stay with me. Learn. Contact your favourite companies asking for transparency about how they're doing their part to be more conscious. Write to your local MP or representative wherever you are in the world if you're not happy about how your government is responding to the climate crisis. And lastly, reflect and put into action what you've learnt into your real life. I think that's the most important part, because if you aren't reflecting what's happening on social media, what you've learnt in books, watched on YouTube into real life, then doing it online is a waste of time. Anyway, those are my like 6 steps, tips, whatever you want to call them. Tips would probably been better, it was too alliteration-y. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way and you learned something or it inspired you to go and do something. If you're an old hand at sustainability, probably not, you probably know all those things, but if you're new, I hope it was helpful. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram, check out my website. I write new blog posts every Sunday, the same kind of stuff as I'm talking about here. A little bit of mental health sprinkled in there sometimes because that's important too. I also have a newsletter which you can sign up to on my blog. I throw a Spotify playlist in there sometimes, vegetarian recipes, I have small businesses, write little pieces, which is fun and I love doing that. So if you're a small business and you'd like to do that for my newsletter, please get in contact with me. My email address is in the description. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and then while you're down there, like the video and leave a comment. If you have any advice for people who are just starting to think more sustainably or become more aware of the things that they can do that I haven't mentioned in this video, please leave it below in the comments, because I think it's really important that we hype each other up, support each other and keep each other encouraged. I will be back next Friday with another video. It's a Q&A. I look a little bit different in it. I filmed it before I cut my hair, so yeah, my hair doesn't grow that quickly. I will see you then. Stay safe.